Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Back again with something very interesting for all of you. Are you ready for it? Before we proceed any further, I just want you to hit the subscribe button, which is there, the red color one down. Please do it so that it would help me to make more videos for you and share so much information about so many things for you. Please, thank you for doing it. Okay, so let's get started. Today we're going to talk about teenagers. Wow. What do you get when you hear the word teenagers? Teenagers, so many feelings, right? A roller coaster ride of emotions, beautiful days, most memorable days of our lifetime, friends, school days, unforgettable days. So many things run into your mind when you talk about teenage and your teenage life. What was it? And I'm sure none of you would have forgotten it and would have thoroughly enjoyed every single bit of it. Maybe some of you not. Okay, so before I proceed this, I'm just going to tell you that this particular part of teenage series, I'm dividing it into three. So this is the first part. In this part, in order to understand teenagers better, I did a survey, and I'm just going to share the answers with you. I'm also going to tell you why these particular teenagers would have probably given the answer like this. That's what we're going to discuss in today's video. And the second video, that the part 2 video, is about how to handle teenagers, which is exclusively for parents, top 5 tips to handle teenagers. And the last part 3, would be exclusively only for teenagers, how to cope up with your struggles and your problems in your teenage life. Okay, so let's get started. So first one, in order to better understand teenagers, why teens are like teens, or why teenagers act like teenagers. So that's what we're going to talk about. Let's go straight. So this is the first question that I asked them. The first question that I asked them: what do you think is the biggest problem that you have ever faced? And some of them said, I have no problems at all. Some of them said friend problems, maybe that friend did not talk to me, my best friend stopped talking to me. Some of them said studies, some of them said expectations from parents. So various responses, but most of them said had peer group problems. Peer groups are the people who are with you, I mean your classmate. They always strive to have the attention, and they always want to be with the peer group friends. The reason for this is nothing, because until now, until your teenage, you are very much close with your family, with your siblings, with your parents. You are very much attached with them, sharing everything with them. But suddenly at this point of time, you try to be very much closer to your friends rather than your parents. The reason is because you want that independence. You feel that you're more independent when you, and you're more you have grown up. Yeah, you have grown up. You have that feeling that you're more grown up. And basically we learn from our parents, but after during this teenage period, we also learn from our friends, our classmates. Okay, so that's the reason, and that's the reason you have this peer group problem and even peer group pressure and so many things. Second thing is, how do you see parents or teachers? There are very different answers for this. Some said, I see teachers or parents as well-wishers, I see them as motivators. Some said, I saw them as people who never understood my feelings and emotions. Yes, there were even negative responses for that. And some said, a particular person said that, I felt parents and the close ones who are very close to me, I felt that I had respect and love for them, but for the others who are not so very close with me, I had only respect for them. Respect means only respect, no love. The reason probably would be the bonding. So teenagers value your bonding, and that's a great difference in how they feel depending on the bond that you have with them. Okay, so the third thing that I asked, and to my surprise and to your surprise, not maybe surprise, advice. I asked them, how do you feel when someone advises you? I mean, I tell you, 100% of the answers were same. There's not a single person who had a difference in opinion. Everybody said these words: boring, irritating, lecture, I get angry, I get annoyed, I ignore it. None of them liked advice. So the last thing that you would ever do to your teenager is to advise. Please don't advise them. I'll tell you how to tackle that in the next video. Okay, so but please don't advise them. They hate it. The reason is probably they again, a sense of independence. They want to find the solutions on their own, because they feel they are grown up and they want to solve their problems on their own by themselves. That could be the reason. Okay, the fourth question, the most interesting question, is one thing you would love to have as a teenager. So some said their hobby items, like a drawing kit, and so many things in my bucket list, friends, and some said love and understanding from others, and some said siblings. Many said siblings. They earn for the emotional attachment from siblings, and they're very emotional too. Maybe the reason they have this very intense emotion with their friends or anybody for that matter, or these mood swings, or those teenage tantrums like back talk and so many etc things, and they keep doing, they don't think but they do it, what they want they do it, they do it immediately, and they're very hard. I mean, they don't listen when it is not said in an appropriate way according to them. The reason is nothing but it's not just about the hormones, it's also about the teenage brain. Yes, so let me share you this. So actually our brain gets fully developed after birth. After like 6 years our brain gets fully developed, but what happens inside of your brain is synapses happen. Synapses is like the electric wire connections happen between different parts of your brain. So during this teenage period, there are still some more synapses yet to happen, which is still in the process of happening, especially in the prefrontal cortex of your brain, which is responsible for decision making, problem solving, and long term consequences. Okay, thinking on long term consequences of what is happening. So that part is yet to be developed. But most teenagers, I mean all the teenagers, use their part of the brain which is responsible for the emotion. Okay, amygdala part of the brain which is responsible for emotion. So they think emotionally, not very practically according to their brain's development. So that's the reason they have too much of mood swings, they get very upset because they are very emotional at that point of time, and that's why they hate it when their friends don't like them, when they're not appreciated, or when somebody judges them depending on their way they look, because they're very emotional. Okay, so this is something that you need to think about it. Okay, the fifth one, last one, is the question that I asked was what did you enjoy the most doing? And what they answered us, some said dancing, playing, shopping, doing makeup, drawing, being with friends. So they all had different hobbies that they all love to do. So that is one thing that I would like to tell this to teenagers, and now is the right time to keep doing what you want to do. So if you don't do it right now, you are either going to lose it later on. Yeah, so this is called the synaptic pruning. Okay, which means you use it or you lose it. Some synapses stops after this point of time if you don't use it. Okay, if you don't use it, they stop, they don't work anymore. So if you're playing a music, if you love music, if you're learning music, keep learning, especially during this teenage time. If you stop doing it, maybe later on in your adulthood, you won't probably able to do, you won't be able to do it probably. Okay, so these are some amazing things about teenagers, and they are wonderful answers. They are such beautiful, wonderful, amazing people. So take care, teenagers. So, and I was really happy talking to all of you and getting all the answers. It's going to help me a lot. Thank you. So stay tuned in for my next video, part 2 of this, how to handle teenagers, just for parents. Yeah, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye.